Wealth under the rich just continue to get richer. I know that's an arrogant thing to say, but it's just true. I mean, we talked about the Suns being a real place for free agents to land this season. This was supposed to be the Suns' time to shine and get those glomerons, get those people looking to ring chase. But still, I think a lot of people looked at the Suns as, they're not going to get that many people. They can't. They shouldn't have grabbed Beal. But here we are. I feel after this Eric Gordon signing that the Suns have an actual championship roster, which I would define as a roster able to compete with Denver for real this upcoming season. Do you think I'm going too far?
No, I don't think you're going too far. I mean, if you look at it, if you look at all the championship teams that were built in the past, they all have some sort of formula where you have young athletic players mixed in with veteran players. You know what I mean? And so it seems to be that the Suns have that. We just got Eric Gordon, vet. We have KD, vet. We have Bradley Beal, vet. We have Devin Booker coming out of the whole young guy. Now he's a vet. You know what I'm saying? But then look at all the offseason signings that we made. We had signed a bunch of young guys, role players that are going to fit the team well. And so, yeah, you can say that this is a formula for a championship team easily.
Let's get into breaking down Eric Gordon and where his game is right now as of today. But first, hit that like button for us. It always helps out a lot. So Eric Gordon's a little bit older. He's 35 years old. I don't think he's hit his expiration date. Last season with the Rockets, before he got traded to the Clippers, he had some games where he really showed out. He's got some upper 20s scoring point games, which leads me to believe if you need him, say somebody goes down, he's still got what it takes to step in and be a somewhat volume scorer for the Suns. He's not going to be asked to, but I think he could.
And not even in that starter role. Just think about what would happen if we need to bench a Bradley Beal or bench Booker or bench KD. You know, we will have a veteran presence there that can go get a bucket. And as you mentioned, you look at his highlights, he's still sneaky and crafty when it comes to getting buckets. Yes, we know that he's a shooter. We know that he can shoot the lights out of the ball. But when it comes to getting to the basket, super sneaky at the age of 35, real crafty.
He's built well. He's obviously kept his body in great shape, and he knows how to use his body when going to the rim. Even though he's a shorter player, he knows how to throw his I saw him throwing his body into Ayton and Durant getting layups in the playoffs versus Suns. Very recently. Like, this is a big deal. I feel like it's a big deal getting Eric Gordon. I feel like if Yuta Watanabe never got signed by the Suns, but we ended up getting Eric Gordon, I would almost be just as happy. I think he's that good of a shooter. He's a deep three-point shooter. Not only can he slap from the corner very efficiently, which is great, this dude will stand out 3-4 feet behind the three-point line and force the defense to guard him out there. And if they don't, he's still shooting at a 37% clip. A lot of that was with the Rockets. A lot of that was with the Clippers. I think he's going to be left open way more in the Suns offense than he was left alone. I expect him to bump up to 40% from three this season.
Teams have no choice but to leave him open, right? Like we talked about this already with having a Bradley Beal and a Devin Booker and a Kevin Durant. Like, pick your poison. You're going to have to leave some dudes open on the wings and in the corner in order to guard that. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't surprise me if he shoots over 40%.
I think the most exciting part of this for me is depth. I can go to sleep at night knowing that the Suns actually found depth this offseason. Not only did they sign another superstar, Bradley Beal, they got the depth that they desperately needed.
And good depth, dude. Good depth.
Really good depth. And I think this is going to come into play come playoff time. Bruce Brown no longer with the Nuggets. Do the Suns have the deeper team now? That's a question we're going to find out.
I mean, we talked about this, when we lost to them last time. The Nuggets were really only rotating 8 at the most and still putting up the numbers that they were putting up. So I think they still have depth. If they're only going to rotate 8, they're just going to find another plug and play replacement for Bruce Brown. I think they're capable of doing that. So I wouldn't go as far to say that we have more depth per se. We have more options. Let me put it that way. We definitely have more options off the bench than what they seem to have, or what they seem to be willing to use anyway. Like, we have Metu now. We have Yuta. We have Eubanks. We have Gordon. We brought back D. Lee, who, you always love to bring up the fact that he was leading in 3-point percentage until he got benched and got completely, disqualified from that stat. Yeah, we have options. We have options. Now, depth, that comes with quality of play, which I do believe we're going to have. I know there are a lot of people who are saying that, the Suns didn't really do much. They signed a bunch of bums. But then you also have a lot of people who say they didn't. And I'm one of those people who agree with them. Like, not trying to be a homer or anything, but when you see who they sign and you see the types of players that they sign, yeah, there's going to be a lot of options in depth there. There's going to be a lot of guys who are able to do a lot of things that folk was going to want them to do. There's going to be a lot of athleticism there. We did not have a lot of that last year off the bench. Name one athletic person off the bench who you were just like, oh my goodness, this guy is an athletic beast. You can't name him. Go ahead. I dare you to try.
So in the last few years, a lot of people have become new Suns fans. Not everyone knows the history of the Suns and Eric Gordon. So a quick refresher. 10 years ago, he was a star in the NBA. He was with the Pelicans or Hornets. It's so long ago, I can't remember. In restricted free agency, he signed with the Suns and he asked New Orleans, publicly asked, please do not sign me. Don't match this offer. My heart is in Phoenix. That was really the first time that things started to look like, free agent wise, they were going the Suns' way. New Orleans said, nah, we're good on that. Matched. He went back and you never really heard about it again. It's not like he ever held a grudge or anything like that. I gave up hope that he would ever make it to the Suns. The fact that it's been 10 years, obviously the best of his abilities are probably gone. But when you watch this guy play as of last year, I think he has plenty in the tank to offer the Suns. We are talking the Suns rolled out the red carpet. He flew into Phoenix. As he's driving into the stadium, they had a huge, if not several, billboards with him on it talking about franchise cornerstone piece and cardboard cutout of him in a jersey swap with the Suns. Everything. They laid it on thick. So there's a little bit of nostalgia here that excites me too. I know that's not going to translate into the playoffs or anything like that, but it's just exciting.
It's real exciting to see him here. And I'm not going to lie. Like, when I saw the signing, it didn't move the needle to me because I just really thought, this is 2 years too late. I said that in my tweet. And what I meant by that wasn't the fact that we hadn't been chasing him forever. It's just like James Jones had been after him for what seemed to be the last 2 years. Every trade deadline, you'd hear Eric Gordon rumors. And I was just like, okay, cool. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. Never happened. And the reason why I say 2 years too late is because we really could have used him on that finals team. We really could have used him last year. We could have used him in the series against the Mavs. You know what I mean? Like, every season that he is rumored to want to be here, or we were rumored to trade for him, like, we really could have used him. And so then this offseason, I'm like, okay, cool. You don't really think he's actually going to come to the Suns, and you see all these other signings and you're like, okay, cool, bet. All these young players, bet. And then you see this signing of Eric Gordon. I'm just like, okay, well, why? What was the whole reason? Why did we really need him? It's a little too late for that because it seemed like we were putting together a great roster. But to your point, having a veteran presence there is not going to be the worst thing. And it's going to be actually not even the worst. It's going to be one of the best things that they could have done, in my opinion. So yes, I'm happy with this signing. Even though what I said in my tweet, I still think it's a great signing.
I think seeing firsthand how he played last season in highlights really goes a long way because he was with the Rockets. Ain't nobody watching the Rockets last year.
Nope. All anybody really needs to do is go look up his tape against us in the first round of the playoffs to see that this man still has it. Simple as that. How many times do we fear him being wide open and him cooking us in that series, Gabe?
How many times do we say, I thought this dude was old. Why is he doing this to us?
So many times. And so all you need to do is go look at that film and see that he still got it.
Tell us in the comments below, do you think that Eric Gordon solidifies the Suns roster as a championship contender? Thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you next time.
Peace.